Welcome to A Pinch of Basile, bringing the most entertaining guests, news stories, and with just a touch of comedy. Now here's everyone's favorite Greek, Basil.
Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? You're listening to A Pinch of Basile. That's right. I am your host, Basil, Rosemary and Herb's son, and I am live from 6 to 7 every Tuesday, and this is no different. And I'm excited to be here with my co-host, Janice Hermson. And Janice, how are you, sweetheart?
Hey, I'm doing very well today, and you sound like you are on top of the world.
You know what? I am on top of the world, and I'm about ready to teeter off any moment. It's been one of those I have a few things going. I got this huge production. A few things, yeah. I feel like a one-arm paper hanger. I mean, I am just a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. That's what I am, and I have so much. I had to finish up a script today. From the script, and I had to wind up getting some other things ready for the production company and dealing with investors and going back and forth. And it's just been one thing after another. And God knows I'm tired. I am tired, but I am rejuvenated. I'm just ready to go right now. You would have thought I opened up a can of Red Bull or something like that. I am ready to go because I'm excited that we're talking. And, and again, for those of you who are joining me, thank you so much. And listen, a lot of us are thinking, going back and forth and going, oh my God, look, we got some really special stuff that we are working on to bring you, the listener, the viewer, anyone, how you guys are getting this, I don't care. But trust me, we are working on some very, very special stuff. And for those of you right now who are listening and you want to spread the word around, go to TuneIn, and that's TUNEI, capital I-N app. Go get that TuneIn app. And then you can always follow us on americamatters.us. That is the important thing. But I got to be honest with you. It's just been a real nuts day for me. And as you can tell, I think you can just feel it in my voice.
It's in the air.
Is it in the air?
It's in the air.
It's
been
really?
A crazy day today. Yeah, it really has. Even for me, I have to admit, you were getting, Basil and I work on the show together, and I was sending him pieces, poor guy. So he's doing a fantastic job with his tough day and my tough day together. Boy, this has been something.
Oh, my God. And then, for those of you who are in the Reno area listening live to us, God bless you. I love you guys. I can't wait to actually come on back. We're working on a date right now to go back to the Laugh Factory, which is in the Silver Legacy. So I can't wait to go back there. But you know what, Janice? I got to tell you, people, you always tell me, and my fans are always letting me know, I always want to plug a couple of shows that I'm always doing. And I have to leave for Cleveland to film a couple of things for a new segment that we're doing under Spice Rack Entertainment, my new production company. But August 18th, I'm going to be at Canton, Ohio, at the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church for their Greek Festival. I'm entertaining there because a lot of I do my stand-up in Greek as well as in English, and I'm going to be there doing my little shtick over at the Holy Trinity Greek Festival, Canton, Ohio, August 18th. That's Saturday night. And then the big show, the one that I always love going to, Annapolis, Maryland. I'm going to be there August 24th at the Ram's Head on Stage. Annapolis, Maryland. Are you listening to me? 410-268-4545. Make sure you get your tickets right now. And for those of you who would like to go ahead and give us a call, you can call in. Can they not, Janice? I just want to make sure they can call in.
They can. They can reach us at 844-790-8255 and just give us a ring. And if you got questions for Basil, let us know what they are.
Absolutely. And we have some phenomenal guests coming up. But I got to tell you, I was very, very excited. I try not to, everyone knows I'm Greek. Everyone's favorite Greek. Basil, listen, Vasili is the name. But you know what? This is not a Greek-centric show. I just happen to have a lot of people who I know who are Greek and are great entertainers and stuff and crowd pleasers and everything. And I got to tell you something. I'm really excited about this guest that we're having, Alan Santana. And if you know something about this, Alan Santana, I mean, this is a guy who is just an unbelievable, just a fantastic, not only a fantastic author, but he actually is an ex-pro boxer. He has done so much. He does a lot of philanthropy, which, of course, I love. Listen, I don't have a pot to pee in, but you know what? I try to do whatever I can to help my fellow man. And this guy is all over the same place. He, as a professional, was as a boxer. And, I got to tell you, I'm really, and I don't want to give too much away about this, but listen, he is truly well worth the listen when he talks to us at the bottom of the half hour. We'll start that. And, I'm really excited. But for those of you who are interested and you guys are really into what's going on, listen, do me a favor, give us a call. And again, 844-790-8255. And we will be here. We got so much. And I got other guests coming. I don't know if Janice, I was telling you the character who wound up playing Christopher in The Sopranos will be joining me.
Yes,
and I'm excited about that. I was
very excited about that.
Yes, and then I got Nia Vardalos going to be coming on the show as well. And I've got a lot of great people who are going to be part of this. But you know what? It's just so exciting to be able to go ahead and do this. And, I've just I got to be honest with you. I am blessed to have the greatest people around me. Craig is at the board right now. He's doing a super job. He's the one who's going to be doing all this Superman, hero stuff that he can do technically. You and I just gab.
That's right.
That's
we
all
have the
we
easy
do.
job.
We have the easy part. But for those of you who are listening right now, I want to tell you, thank you for joining us. There is so much to come. This is a special event. And, every time that we wind up doing a show like this, it always excites me. We're going to be coming back with some news real soon. But for all of those who are listening right now, you're listening to the Pinch of Basile podcast, brought to you by BZK Productions and your favorite spice of life, A Pinch of Basile, coming right to you. And, let all those other sponsors, they're going to do their thing right now. Peace.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
We are back. Yes, you're listening to Basil Around the World. My God, if you could have enough seasoning and spice up this world, it'd be great. That's right. Go to your TuneIn app. That's TUNEIN radio app, and find America Matters online and listen to us live every week. AmericaMatters.us. Click on the demand player on the right side of your screen. For you people down in Australia, because things go the opposite and maybe on the left, but not so much. Go to the right side of the screen and make sure you take care of that. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited about that. And people can catch us all over the world. I got my big fans over in Oz and throughout Europe, so I'm very excited about that. And, we got a lot of stuff going on, don't we? Miss Janice.
We do. We just are having so much fun. This is our third show, and yeah, this has been a really a fun time. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, and the great thing is we've had fantastic guests. I mean, not only did we have, whom I love. I got to tell you, Calomira, she was fantastic.
She was wonderful.
Costa Kufos, what a funny, outstanding, great guest that him as well, and being an NBA standout, and I was just really happy. But then to have Alan Santana with us coming up at the bottom of the hour, it's really exciting.
We're going to have to do something different. We've had a couple of sports players in a row, so we kind of have to mix this up a little bit.
Well, you know what? I'm all about that. I like actresses, actors, I should say. A lot of the female actresses get upset when I say actress. It's actors. All the actors, male and female.
Some of them do. Not all of them.
It doesn't matter. Look, I love them all. I appreciate their entertainment and that they give to all of us and do a great job. And speaking of entertainment, you just give them a little bit of a breakdown on this. Go ahead, Janet.
Which one? You talking about?
This has got to be the bacon one.
Oh, all right. Now, this is truly hilarious.
Unbelievable.
We found this in a news story from the Miami Herald, and it seems like everyone wants this particular bacon to be delivered to their state. They only sell it in Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and the western part of upstate New York. So congratulations to you folks.
Yeah. Great bacon.
And do you wonder why these people want this bacon?
I have a question, and I think not only do I question as to why, but I think the viewership, or I should say the listenership for today, they are curious as to why.
Well, here are your instructions. So are you ready, Basil? You need to write this down.
Yes,
Pan fry slowly on slow to medium heat until bacon renders and is cooked to your desired crispness. Don't add any basil to it. But here's the kicker. If you really don't know how to cook bacon, please contact our elected officials and complain about our education system. Every American should know how to cook bacon. Seriously.
And I agree wholeheartedly. I went to the school of hard knocks. You know what I'm saying? Where you do something. And
absolutely.
I learned a couple things. First of all, do not cook bacon naked. I don't know what it is. You know, it's that little fry things that go all over your body that kind of, hurt. And so I don't cook bacon naked, but I do know how to cook bacon. And I'm right there. And
well, good. We don't have to contact your elected official then.
Well, I'll tell you, Sean Buchanan, the VP of Sales and Marketing at Black River, the company who sells the bacon, told Snopes, he goes, it was intended to be a mixture of humor and seriousness because the world is coming to if people don't know how to cook something as simple as bacon. And isn't that the damn truth?
It is. But you know what's really funny is they went on to say, and I don't have this in front of me, but from memory, they went on to talk about the different interaction that was happening on Facebook. And people were upset, about the craziest things about this. You know, how can you say that every American should know how to cook bacon? You know, we are in a crazy world. Just a crazy world.
It gets to the point, we learn like basic facts around the world and what's been going on, when I was a kid, when you were a kid, and it wasn't really that long ago, to be quite honest with you. And for the listeners who are young and old, what really surprises me that you guys don't know the basic things of even loading a dishwasher, unloading a dish. We have coddled these kids to the point. I remember when my mother and father were building a house, and they didn't even have a sink yet because we did not have, it was a brand new house. They didn't put the kitchen. I was washing dishes in the bathtub.
Wow.
Okay.
By hand. By
hand, kneeling outside, washing. My parents were tough, man. Rosemary and Herb, very, very, very tough.
Absolutely.
They really were.
Tough
they
folks.
truly were. Absolutely. All right, here's another one that made me laugh. Man calls police. Help, I'm being chased by a baby squirrel. I have to be honest with you. When the world has come to the point where you cannot cook bacon and you're being chased by a baby squirrel, how can I say this in a nice way? Yeah, we might as well just end it. What do you think?
I think it's over. I think it's all over.
Yeah. What is the poor squirrel was hungry. Evidently, the guy was wearing shorts. Squirrel's going, oh, look, nuts. So, I'm thinking.
But, that's crazy. They actually had police officers do their own chase for this squirrel. And then once they caught him, the dumb thing fell asleep.
Oh. Help, I'm being pursued by a squirrel. Right. How the hell do you actually call?
I don't know.
A baby squirrel is no bigger than almost like a small little hamster, and it's coming after you?
Yeah,
Step on it. Just step on it, for God's sake.
Well, I looked at that picture of it, and it looks like it's kind of, that doesn't look like a baby to me. But, what can you say?
That's a baby squirrel. Have you ever seen a baby squirrel?
I've never seen. Well, yeah, of course I have.
Yeah, I've seen them come out of their nests and stuff. That's about right. That's really about right.
All right.
Yeah, but what are you going to do, man? It's a scary thing for sure. That's, for sure it was.
I suppose.
Yeah.
So
what else we got in the news? What else we got in the news?
I want to go because I don't want to run out. I want to talk about that last one about the Earth. But let's talk about the jazz music. Do you like jazz music?
Love jazz.
Yeah.
Love jazz.
Well, so do sharks. A study done by scientists from Australia's, you're going to make me say this one, Macquarie University Fish Lab found the Port Jackson sharks in their study swam to a feeding station whenever they played jazz. But they were less likely to respond to other types of music. So their study leader, Katerina Villapuca, said sharks are generally like that, are generally underestimated when it comes to learning. Most people see them as mindless, instinctive animals. No, I see it as an animal that's going to come after me and bite me. Sheesh. However, they have really big brains and are obviously much smarter than we give them credit for.
I got to tell you, I'm a little bit. I saw Jaws, and
me too.
And when that head popped out of the hull of the ship, when Richard Dreyfuss went looking for it, no, not so much. Because they look at me. Sharks, I know for a fact. I'm a scuba diver. I'm a PADI scuba diver. I know for a fact when sharks look at me, they're thinking buffet. So I am going to stay away from said shark, and I'm going to give it some title. But the thing is, it's a cool shark. That's all you got to say. It is a cool shark for liking jazz. What I'm waiting for, when it can snap its fins, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but I think we might have some smart sharks, but we might have a problem with some of the millennials in the U.S. You want to tell the folks about that?
Oh, my God. This is the most... A third of millennials think that the Earth is flat. Okay, I want you to think about this.
Think about that.
A third of the millennials in the world today believe that the world is flat. Folks, our education system, first of all, the kids didn't know how to cook damn bacon. Okay. Then we have squirrels chasing men and women, for God's sakes.
Not women, men.
Really? You just going to let me hang on that one? Okay. And now a third of millennials, there's a thing called a globe. You look at the globe, you look up in space, there's a picture of the Earth. It is, what shape would that be when they're looking from up space?
Oh, my goodness. Generally, I would think it would, at best or at worst, an oval, right?
Oval, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can give them an oval, but not flat.
Come on, folks.
Not
Are
flat.
You really that ignorant that you can't? Look, I'm a dad. I would smack my kids upside the head if they told me that they thought that the world was flat. I really would. And I'm surprised that you parents out there, are you shaking your heads? Are you teaching your kids anything? And teachers, for God's sakes, this is a third of the millennials that are out there today. Teach them something. Show them a globe. Make them Google the Earth and see what happens. Maybe that will happen.
Well, and I thought maybe this was like not a reputable study or something. So I looked up this YouGov, and it looks like they're cited by a lot of the media out there. Looks like they're worldwide, and looks like they know what they're doing. But wow, because sometimes online things are not real great. But they did more than 8,000 candidates in the United States. I wonder why they picked the U.S. only.
Because, to be honest with you, I got to be real honest with you. I think the kids in Europe, Asia, I think the kids all over the world, in Africa, I think they are much, I don't hate to say smarter, but they're probably better off educated. Come on. If you really think that these kids, you tell them that the world is flat, this is what they thought back in the days of Christopher Columbus when he went and circumnavigated and
they might not know who that is.
Oh, probably Christopher Columbus. So wasn't he a director of a movie?
That's right.
Chris Columbus, wasn't that Chris Columbus?
I
right?
I saw him.
Yeah, I saw his movies.
Yeah.
He's great. Yeah, he's the one who made the world flat. Okay, so anyway, I'm just a little bit confused about this. The news, but that's the wacky, crazy news that we got right now. Anything you want to add to that, Miss Janice?
Oh my, no, just that my grandchildren will be more educated than that. That's for sure.
Jesus Christ. That's so sad. So sad. Well, anyway, listen, all right, it's that time to get a word from our sponsors. We're going to be back with our guest. You don't want to miss this former pro boxer, Alan Santana. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile podcast brought to you by BZK Productions.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
right, you're on with A Pinch of Basile. Don't forget, I am streaming this. I guess we're not streaming this on Facebook, are we?
Not right now.
Not right now. No, we're not.
Nope.
Yeah,
we got a surprise coming, though.
We do have big surprises for y'all because I got to tell you, there was a couple of things that went awry, and we took care of it, but we are going to make it. Not only did we take care of it, but I don't want to blow the whole surprise thing to you. What I'm doing right now is we're going to add some really magnificent stuff, that really state-of-the-art stuff that's going to blow y'all away. So when we do this, we will be streaming live next week, and then we're going to wind up going ahead and doing this together with the podcast because it's really exciting. And for those of you who are listening right now, you can follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram at Basile Fans. That's BASILEFANS, Basile Fans. It's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or you can also check out my website at basilelive.com. You can email me at info@basilelive.com. And you can also call in when we get ready to talk to our guests at 844-790-8255. And speaking of guests, Janice, there's probably perhaps one of the best looking men I have ever seen in my life on air with us, Alan Santana. How you doing, Alan?
Hey, Basil, I am doing well. How are you?
Fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you can't see this, and it's sad. It is truly sad you can't see this. This man is truly a beautiful man. There is no two ways about it. And, what are your thoughts, Janice, about this?
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't say anything other than that. Just absolutely handsome.
Handsome, debonair.
Yes.
I got to tell you, Alan, when I saw this, I thought, my God, this guy is handsome as hell. And because you and I look a lot alike.
We saw that. I have to interject here. We saw that picture of you that you sent. And I said, oh, my goodness, Basil's going to love this because it looks so much like him.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, I saw this and I started reading the bio. And just for my guests, I just want to read this real quick. Alan began boxing at the age of 8 years old, my God, and it grew into a 20-year career. He earned a spot as a member of the California USA boxing team from 1982 to 84. During his amateur stint, he won many state and local titles, recorded well over 100-plus fights. Shortly after starting his professional run, his career was unexpectedly hampered. Oh, God, this sounds so familiar, due to sustaining a career-ending injury from an automobile accident. Mr. Santana continues his support of the coveted sport of boxing through national and international level, supervising title bouts as champion of the sport and a passionate mentor of the youth. Good for you, Alan. A multi-talented boxing and MMA commentator, speaker, and, serial entrepreneur, presiding as North American coordinator and supervisor for the American Boxing Organization. The California native is one of the most experienced and knowledgeable experts of our time. He has held the position of executive board member with the World Boxing Hall of Fame and international boxing judge. He is currently a spokesperson for Blackout Fight Gear, which is located in California. He currently resides as the CEO and president and the founder of the No Team Riders, Inc., nonprofit organization created to educate the teen drivers and their families by providing practical information, preventative measures, and compliance standards to reduce and eliminate teen vehicular deaths. Good for you. His book, entitled Unprotected, A Tactical Approach to Boxing, Business, and Life, was released in 2018. Personally, Alan, you reside in Orange, California, beautiful area, has been married to a wife, Anna Marie. My God, Alan, 32 years. Jesus. Okay, good for you. I thought I was doing good at 30. But, us handsome men, we know how to keep, the marriage alive, and we're doing well. We have 4 children. They have 4 children. Victoria, the twins, Austin and Andrew, and Aaron. Welcome to the show, Alan Santana.
Thank you very much. That's great. Thanks for the great introduction. I really appreciate it. I'm kind of flustered, though.
No, dude. Listen, I saw that. And the funny thing is, I'm an ex-football player and a wrestler, and I got my butt kicked. I'm about 6'2", and about 240. And, everyone, I loved wrestling, but how you did it as a boxer and then continued on, I just didn't like getting hit in my face. There was a thing about getting hit in the face that always bothered me, and evidently you're into the pain. Okay, that's cool. I admire that. I just was never into that, to be honest with you. I saw Rocky at a young age, and I said, yeah, you know what? Not so much. No, it doesn't do anything for me. I didn't want to walk around and say, hey, Mick, cut me. I didn't want to do that. So welcome to the show. I'm telling you, man, it's so cool that you're here with us. And, I got to be honest with you, man. I mean, you have a certain philosophy about discipline. And what is that philosophy that you have about discipline to continue doing what you're doing, and how do you follow it?
First of all, being a professional or just being a boxer, period, that is a regimented process that you go through every day, the training process. Mm-hmm. So that has helped me. And then also I went to military school when I was at a younger age, and that actually gave me structure and regimen. So that's kind of how I've always ran, and I've been able to do that all my life, so all my adult life and my childhood. So.
Well, the thing is, I always believe in structure. The funny thing is, I get mad at my girls if they don't make their bed in the morning. And I said, it starts off your morning. It's the smallest thing in the world, but it starts off your morning.
Very true.
And I really believe in structure. I wake up the same way every time. I walk in the kitchen in my underwear, and, it's a beautiful thing, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. Come on, Basil. Give us a break.
Are you serious? Listen.
I do the same thing.
There you go.
All right, you guys.
It's
just not nice.
It's the thing, listen, he looks like, if he were to look in the mirror, he would say, oh my God, is that Basil or is that me? and I understand it. And I like walking around. I shadow box over to the refrigerator. I get my couple of eggs out. You may eat them raw. I boil mine. Nonetheless, but I think that's great
that
you start. Oh no, but let me tell you something. I love when I see structure in a kid, and when you do these things involving kids, how do you try to do that? Because I always thought that having a year or two in the military was always going to give structure to an individual, man and woman. It didn't matter, and I think we'd be better off. But that's me. That's my opinion. And how do you try and motivate young kids? How do you do that?
It's tough, especially in today's world. I think that it all starts at home, and you're exactly right. Structure is very good in the morning. You feel good about yourself. It all starts with making the bed in the morning, so it's always good to do that. Because you're going to start your day off in the right way. To get kids to do that's a different story. Our 4 children, and we've raised them also the same way with structure, and it's hit or miss. And you can't always control that. When we talk about teenagers and driving and the laws, again, you can't control what a teenager is going to do, but you can try to educate them and have them hopefully remember, hey, before I get in a car, I don't want to break the law. I don't want to carry anybody in the car with me, for the fear of having a terrible accident or just getting pulled over by the police. So again, those are things you can, like my dad used to tell me, you can steer a horse to water, but you can't teach it to drink. So it's just true. One of those things that I think you can educate kids, and you just hope that they're going to pick up on certain things that when you speak to them and run with that.
And and it's tough to motivate. I always thought it was tough to sometimes motivate a young kid these days because of the advent of the cell phone, and these kids are on it. Where before you and I would be outside playing kickball, football, we'd be running all over the place and getting nicked and cut, and you can't go outside until you wind up making your bed, cleaning the vacuuming the house, doing this. There were things that we had to do, and I've always felt, let me get this crap done with as quickly as possible so I can go outside. So I never had a problem. And I'm sure there's a lot of listeners right now, and by the way, for the listeners, please give us a call if you want to talk to Alan as well. 844-790-8255. But trying to motivate these kids is some of the toughest thing. And, how do you, what satisfies you more right now? Is it to be able to raise 4 beautiful children, have a wife of 32 years, to be an author, to have the career that you've had? What is the most satisfying thing you've probably had in your life that you could share with us?
Being married, especially in today's world, being married 32 years is an accomplishment in itself. Raising 4, wonderful children. We've been very fortunate with our children. They've never given us any problems. I always say knock on wood. But that in itself is rewarding right there. I set out one time, like I said, to write a book, and I actually wrote the book, so I've accomplished that. That's rewarding again in itself because of what I talk about in the book. There's an array of different things I can talk about. I've had a successful business for 30 years. That's my daily grind there. That keeps me going, financially and in every other way. So there's a lot that I do, my daily, just on a daily basis. I'm usually up, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'll get more accomplished by 9 o'clock in the morning than a lot of people do in their entire day. So
sure, that was the old Army commercial. We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. And I used to think that was the worst commercial in the world because I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to stay in bed till about 12 and I'll let y'all know what's up, afterwards. Oh, my gosh.
Right. I wish I could do that. But
yeah, I can't. I'm up at 6, but I was always up at 6. It never really mattered, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
There's a bunch of stuff I want to talk with you about. And we will, but you know what? It's coming to that point of the show where I have to actually close out this last segment or the third segment, I should say, and we got to do that little sponsor thing. They're the ones who pay the bills for this whole, shindig that we're doing. So, but I want to, thank you all so much for listening. Right now, we're with Alan Santana, the best-looking man in the world, and I'm right there with him. And to be honest with you, we are going to do that sponsors thing, like I said. You, at this very moment, are lucky enough to listen to Mr. Alan Santana, myself. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile, the podcast brought to you by BZK Productions. We'll see you in just a bit.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
So glad you can come and join me on A Pinch of Basile. I'm here with my guest, pro boxer, former pro boxer, now author, entrepreneur, Alan Santana. Alan, I got to tell you, you and I were talking, even though I am not a boxer and never, I wrestled in high school. I've been offered rides in college, but I didn't want to wrestle because I got a cross face one time that almost ripped my face off. And I was like, this is not for me. And to be a pro boxer and to get smacked in the face over, and I've had my ribs broken. Trust me, it hurts. And God bless you that you love that type of stuff. I can't do it, man. I can't. I don't know how the hell you did it, but God bless you. That takes some serious.
That takes a certain kind of person, I guess, to do that. And I've always asked. It must be in our DNA, to want to fight. My father was an ex-professional boxer, so I guess that was in my genes. I don't know. So I took to the sport and I loved it. The pain part, I broke my nose once. My eardrum was broke. Actually, my left eardrum, and just you battle through those things in a fight, and the endorphins kick in. And you really don't feel the pain until the next day.
That's true. That's true. It's like when I used to play ball, I'd come back and I have a dislocated wrist or my fingers were broken. You didn't know until after the game. So, I understand that in the heat of battle, you do certain things. You know what? As I'm looking down at some of the questions that we put together, and I wish I had more time to actually speak to you because but you do a lot of nonprofit stuff. And how did you decide to go from that? I know you have your children, but this No Teen Rider. Tell me about that.
Well, I had a cousin that was killed in Kentucky many years ago, and that had always stuck in my mind. When you get that phone call at 2 a.m. and it's the state trooper saying, "Hey, your cousin's been killed," because they couldn't get hold of his mother. That was tough. And he was 16 years old. He perished along with two of his high school friends at that time in Kentucky. Like, it was on a early Sunday morning, like around 2 a.m. And that it left an indelible impression upon me, and I wanted, to do something. And then a few years later, there was this terrible, horrific accident in Irvine, California, where 5 kids got killed, all high school kids. I think it was at University High School, and they were out at lunchtime driving. The guy was going 80 miles an hour and wrapped the BMW around a tree, going down Jamboree, I think it was. And anyways, that was it at that point. I got to do something. So I sat down and came up with the license plate frame, and then started just putting everything together. Talked to my partner, my business partner, and we sat down and put a plan in place. And it just kind of grew from there. I got a fantastic board of directors today with me, and we have board meetings once a month. And we're trying to move this thing into high schools across the country, because it's, for me, it's important that and it sounds so cliche, but I say if I could save one teenager's life, we've done our job.
You know what? It's the one thing that kind of kills me is actually hearing about kids getting killed, and no. There's never been a good phone call at 2 a.m. Never.
No.
And it's...
That never is. You don't want to get that phone call.
No, not at all. Janice, you were going to say something. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Oh, no, I'm okay. But I did want to ask a question of you, Alan. And thanks for agreeing to come on the air with us. I really appreciate that. What did your family think? I know you wrote a book, and what did your family think about that as far as, getting into being an author after being a boxer? That just seems like an interesting transition.
My family supports me 100%. I had a book signing a couple of months ago in Huntington Beach, and it was nice. My son came out, sat and ran the booth for us where people were signing in or actually buying the book, and so he took care of that part. My wife helped out, so it was nice. That I wrote that book for a reason. I had been involved in professional sports and around boxing pretty much all my life, and then I kept hearing of, and I knew of many fighters that went broke. And so in my book, I talk about some of those fighters that have went broke with all the money they've made, millions of dollars. And I also saw professional athletes going broke. And so I figured I needed to sit down and put something, on paper that would help to educate these athletes, be it a boxer or a basketball player. And so I went in and I wrote, how you open a bank account, how to incorporate yourself, how to dress, how to speak. Those are the things that they don't teach you as a professional athlete.
They don't teach you that in a lot of areas.
No.
No, they actually.
No,
I
was just. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Alan. I'm sorry. No, I was going to tell you. I said they actually do that with the NFL players today.
Oh, do they?
But they take these. Oh, yeah. They have basic skills type things to teach them how to write a check, how to handle this, how to handle.
Right.
And believe it or not,
hey,
some
Alan,
of these cats
you should pass your book on to the NFL. Let them. You could give them a whole thing on it, right?
Well, that would be nice. Again, and Basil, you're absolutely right. They are now teaching that. I was invited to an event at UCLA, and it was a former scout for the Dodgers, and I guess almost like a den mother. She had worked with the Dodgers and the Yankees, and what she did was teach these athletes when they sign them. So, she worked with the Latin-speaking ball players. So when they would come into the United States or California or New York, she actually acclimated them, but she taught them how to speak English. She taught them how to, again, write checks, how to open a bank account, because most of these kids coming from Latin America, they didn't have that education. And even here in the States, we get educated. We go to school for certain things, but they never really sit down and teach you the basics. We kind of brush over that, and I don't know why, but it's important that we learn those things. you know.
Absolutely. And the thing is, too, the sad thing is that these kids, you know, I have no problem with a kid who has the talent to go after his sophomore year to go to the NBA. If there's a chance for him to make millions, to go ahead and do that, that's great. But these same millionaires don't know who to trust, and they're going to trust one of their homies who maybe was a little bit smarter or whatever, and, you know, kind of take their money and run. And so that's why, you know, like Alan said, a lot of these cats wind up getting broke, and they didn't even know what the hell they had.
You know,
so, you know, it's just one of those things. I hated seeing guys taken advantage of because of that. And you're absolutely correct. And to teach these kids, they don't know how to write a basic checkbook or to balance a checkbook.
No.
You know, to pay a bill. And these are not kids from Latin America. These are kids from America.
Right.
You know? And
Exactly.
it's sad.
Exactly.
And great athletes have all the moves that you can think, and they just don't have common sense. It's not that they're stupid. They just were never taught. And I think some of the schools need to go, instead of these, you know, we're going to learn calculus. No, how about basic skills for survival?
There you go. And Alan, why don't you let folks know where they can get your book, and tell them the title and, you know, the whole thing.
Sure. The book can be purchased online at my website at www.alansantana.com. That's ALANSANTANA.com. Or you can buy it at Barnes & Noble online or Amazon online. And the title of the book is Unprotected.
Perfect.
Oh,
and gentlemen, I got to tell you, I'm monitoring Facebook here, and we have a young lady, Trudy Scott Gore, who says you guys could be brothers. Two handsome gentlemen. There you go.
Well, you know, the thing is, it is difficult to be humble when you're me. That's all I'm going to say. It's difficult. And I know for Alan, it's the same bloody problem, you know, because I know people probably walk up to Alan and go, "Oh, my God, are you Basil?" And Alan's going, "Oh, no, that's my other good-looking friend that looks just like me." And then, you know, I'm so full of crap, it hurts.
So you're going to have to be my brother from another mother, right?
Oh, there's no two ways about it, my friend. No two ways about it. And I got to tell you, I'm excited that we can actually, you know, sit and talk with you. And I love what you do. I love that you like working with the kids. I love that you want to, you know, help people. And it's all about philanthropy for me. Look, I'm the first one to tell you, I wish I could tell you I was a multimillionaire, but I'm not. And if there's a way to help people, I don't care how much I got. I'll take whatever I have and at least help them. You know, I've been blessed to have some great kids who are smart enough to do certain things and get through school, not a problem. But you know what? I love when I see people that have a good-looking guy with a huge heart who's sitting out there, who's been through life and has seen just about everything, done just about everything, written books about it, and still helps his fellow man. That's a special person that all of you who are listening to right now should be proud of having someone like that in your area.
Absolutely. And I know we don't have much time, Basil, but I wanna let Alan talk a little bit about his second book, because he's got another one coming up.
Yeah, because I got a question too.
Right. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear it. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I am working on my second book, and that book is titled "Pulling a Rabbit Out of My Hat." And that book is quite a bit, I guess, more intense, a little deeper. It's going to go through kind of my memoirs and how, you know, I survived the last 10 years doing what I do because of the economy. And just it's a deep book because I talk about things in there that I don't talk to even my wife about.
Wow.
You know, so it's a way for me to maybe cope with some of those issues that I had to deal with. I mean, I tell some of my closest friends know this. I was close. The thought of committing suicide came through my mind many times at one point in my life because of where I was at and where I've been.
We're going to have to cut you off. I hate to do that to you, but we're
we
beating up on the clock here.
We got to bring it back. Well, listen, a reminder for all those. First of all, Alan, thank you so much for being part of the show. Remember, don't forget to listen every week on Tuesdays, 6 to 7, New York City time. We can be heard all around the world at americamatters.us. You're using the iTuneIn app.
TuneIn app.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Bye-bye.
So listen, I love you all. Pinch of Basile.